Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's Furman Football Monday with head coach Clay Hendricks. Paladins coming off of a loss to Wofford to close out the home portion of the schedule. Two conference games remaining, both on the road this weekend at ETSU and the following week at Mercer. We'll set you up for the broadcast of the ETSU game coming up at the end. As always, we'll ask the coach to open with a statement, and then Ben Hoy will ask question number one.
Thank you, Dan. Just was really proud of how our team started the game Saturday. Probably one of our better starts offensively. Great first drive, great stop on D, ball back, another great drive going, and we turned the ball over. Which was, certainly, one turnover should beat you, but certainly it was a huge momentum breaker. And then, they ended up getting a drive down tied up. Again, had all kinds of opportunities to get it done. I think when you look at it, offensively, it was some short yardage opportunities. We missed some red zone opportunities that we didn't get points or touchdowns on. They'll played really solid defensively most of the day. I think they were 4-12 on third down. We were 50% on third down. Two of those were killers. One of them didn't take the quarterback, and the other one off the field and had three chances to get off, and then we get a roughing the passer, and then they scored a touchdown on that drive. I think maybe 5 explosive plays we allowed. 2 of them I know led to touchdowns. At least 2 of them did. So, just continuing to work. We went out there yesterday in the rain and had a good day. Our kids' attitude has been phenomenal. Really has been. We just got to continue to try to fix just things where we hurt ourselves. And then we got to do what we're supposed to do. Wherever that is. Certainly we can do some things better as coaches, put them in a better position, make some better calls. But no, we like I said, had a good start to our week yesterday, and got to go play against a really good East Tennessee team. It's like playing a different team from a year ago. The schemes are different because the staff's different, but it's totally different players. Or not totally, but largely a different with the number of transfers they brought in. They had big wins Saturday against Easton, against Western. Took advantage of some short fields. They had a number of turnovers themselves. So it'll be a huge challenge for us.
Coach, it hasn't happened very often that you've had a season like this as head coach or even in your career. Is it tough to try to keep an even keel?
Well, I think you're always just when you don't win, if you're a competitor, and I told our team yesterday, I literally went through our schedule, and I thought there were about 4 really good opportunities on our schedule that won games. And in one game we didn't get to play, but we did, and it was a little bit wide. And I think a couple of the others, there's also a reason why those games weren't nearly as competitive. It was turnovers, it was allowed big plays, and so. I see some things we're getting better at. It's been an interesting year just because of some of the things we've dealt with. I've been on some teams that didn't have very good years before. I've been doing this 39 years. I remember I've used it. It's just striking. When the 1 year in the Air Force, we didn't go to a bowl game in 10 years. We were 2-10. Next year we were 10-3. And we lost a couple of quarterbacks, bam, 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 to start the year. We struggled defensively all that year. And it's funny, I see some similarities. Standpoint, I'm just talking about the group we have returning. I think in the world that it is now, college football, we just start on sticking together, staying the course. I think that's how we won as many games as we did the last few years. We had a bunch of kids who were committed to coming back, being in our place, being a part of who we were. And we look at who we were really the old team is because kids were committed to being here, and committed to what Furman brings them and does for them, and that's kind of we've talked a lot about we're building for the 25 conference championship, and we certainly want to finish strong for these seniors that we have. We don't have a lot of them, but it's frustrating. I think the frustrating part is just the number of times we've hurt ourselves. Some of these teams we play are good enough without us doing it. We've had what's that game? We had all kinds of opportunities Saturday to do the things we need to do as we had a week ago. heard the margin of error, we've used that term a lot. Really, for me, that is, when we get an opportunity to hit, Jackson Pryor on the wheel route early in the game for a huge gain, and we miss it, do we really get that play back? Are we good enough right now where we are? We think we're gonna have 4 or 5 of those chances during the game, and, we missed the throw for a touchdown that probably win the game and be in mine. But you're gonna get that back, and we had one opportunity. Or the stop on D. When we made the stop, we got them off, we get a really dumb penalty. After we had lost contained and missed a sack. So I think that's the challenging parts of it all. It's frustrating, but, attitude's everything. We're just trying to control our, you wake up today and figure out how you want to address the day. And we've come to work, staff's working hard. We have a great group of recruits this weekend. We had to do it this weekend because we're on the road the next 2 weeks with a new calendar, leading up to signing day. So all that's going good. We got to keep pressing along.
Coach, when you played as long as you have, and coached as long as you have, should I say, in the Southern Conference, you developed a lot of unique relationships. You see a lot of people come and go, but never seems to be too far away that you're involved in the Lamb. And I know you've known Trey a long time. What's it like facing him? You played for Ray Lamb, Bobby Lamb was your roommate, teammate here at Furman, coached against him, and then Paladins, and now Trey. What's it like?
Bobby, that one was incredibly tough. I mean, just thinking of it, our parents still live across the street from each other, and known each other since second grade when I came back, and we worked together and played together all those years growing up, so that one was incredibly tough, and that never got easier. Bobby left Mercer, but I didn't miss that part at all, and that's one of the few times I've ever felt that way. Trey's dad, Hal, was a year younger than us, so we, same way, great friends, grew up playing, all that stuff, and so never played against Hal. Known Trey, obviously know Trey well, but Trey never, he grew up somewhere else. Never knew Trey well. Trey and I talk a lot. I mean, I don't know, I think if maybe the old guy, he'll call and ask a question, something about the league, but, obviously he's bright, and he's done a really good job where he's made the most of an opportunity as a really young coach. He did it at Gardner Webb, and now he's moved over. I think when you look at them, the biggest thing he's done, in my opinion, is he's used the state of college football today, for how he's kind of built it in a year. He did make 2 votes about it as far as the transfers go. I think he told me when they had 50-something new players last January, and there's some good players in there. And then, you can tell they got good schemes, they create issues for you offensively. They're playing really good on defense. They kind of, their team, you don't realize how many times they turn it over. I think they might be worse than us in turnover margin. I think he told me that, but the defense has continued to come and make big plays. That was a really storied game Saturday against Western. So, I think the Lambs probably pull for me a lot. I don't think there'll be a lot of pulling for me this week. That's okay. But no, Trey, it's funny, Trey's a young guy, and he every time I'm around, he's always the same. I mean, I kind of judge how people are a week. Are they the same every time you kind of see him? He's kind of that way with me. So, but yeah, he's done. I was sitting there pulling for him to beat North Dakota State. They should have won that game earlier in the year because I just knew that'd be good for our league. But he's done a good job, and he'll certainly. But our guys will be ready to go. It's gonna be a fun one for us to go play. They're certainly gonna get our best shot too.
Coach, when you see a program like East Tennessee State, and they had kind of this season last year for them, and they made just such a turnaround. But they were heavy on the portal. I know, what kind of balance, like I know you've highlighted some areas that you might look at the portal, but how do you balance that with being also a developmental program?
I don't think you can here. I don't think that could ever happen here, just from a condition standpoint. I mean, obviously, they've got a it's kind of worked for them this year. I mean, look at some people in the league, has it helped them? It hurt them? Be interested if you saw a study on that. You know, it's, you know, who we discriminate get, for what reason, for any reason. I mean, I think about them, they've got like, I don't know, I don't sit around and count it, but I think the time I spent in 3 schools, you know. I'm not saying it couldn't happen here, but it just doesn't. I just think we're a little different in that regard. I don't think that'll happen. I do think, it's like I told you, you know, we've been successful largely the last few years, in my opinion, because of our retention, our development program, and guys who are committed to staying here and building. Then, okay, we graduate 41 guys. Okay, I mean, you know, that's going to have an effect on you. I thought we had a really good core of experienced guys. I knew we were going to be younger, you know, and then now what I wasn't expecting is have 15 surgeries. And I think I counted about 18 guys that missed significant, or if not all of the year. And a lot of them were the, I mean, only a couple of those guys were young guys, you know, so they were the old guys, so they became that way. So I think otherwise we would have weathered it, how the season would have gone. You know, I still felt like we should have won a few more games than we have. But I think the exception probably 2 times. The first game, obviously, doesn't figure in there, been competitive. You know, it's just can you do the things you gotta do to get over the hump, make the place, feel good about where we are. You know, I think that, I also think that can cycle on you. I mean, like I said, I don't point names, but there are a number of people who've done that and worked out real good for them every year. Think you can hit it right a year, can you sustain it? I don't know, you know, but that's just never gonna work here. It's just not. I would love to be able to plug a guy here or there, and we'll still continue to do that. But even when we do it, the pool is so small, and, you know, kids have lots of options. You know, do you have something to truly draw on? You know, for us, it's been, what do we, I think I've seen, was it 13 grandkids last year, or maybe 13. We got really one that's playing for us this year, you know. You know, like I said, I don't think we'll have 13 here, but I think we can have a few more. We'll try to plug in a guy. We don't have a lot of spots available based on who's returning, but that could also change too. You know, 2 weeks from now, I don't know. I think I have a pretty good beat on him. You don't know. You know, so that's what we'll just kind of deal with today, and yeah, we're planning to sign another high school class. It won't be a big class, but it'll be big in terms of the number of spots we have. But we are, you know, we're not. I'm not against the other. We're gonna look into it, but it's just got to be right. I feel like it makes us better.
Coach, who are some of the unsung heroes that we don't see on the field each and every Saturday that are out there on your scout team, or players that you see that, you know, they got a great future coming here at Furman that people just haven't seen on the field yet this year?
You know, I think there's a number of those kids. It's funny, some of those same names come up. And what's been interesting this year is, you know, we've tried to use the 4-game rule. You know, we're still to this, you know, we've had it planned out where, okay, this kid's got 2 more games. We got 2 games left in the regular season. We got here at the end, we had 4 games, and some of them had 3 left. You know, and so which game? We sat Trevor Shore Saturday. We didn't play him. He's got 2 more games. You know, and I think there's a lot of cases like that. You know, because, you know, when you lose the number of guys we have, your scout teams get a little thin too.
Yeah.
And we've had good numbers, but I mean, I think last week I'd look over there and there might be 1 extra scout player watching practice. And then one day there wasn't 1, there was 11 for 11. You know, so we try to manage that. You know, right up, there's a lot of those guys, and a lot of them are playing. You know, I look at a guy like Jackson Pryor. You know, he's playing, man. He's done some really good things. Really excited. You know, as a true freshman. But I'd leave a bunch of guys out. You know, because I think there's a lot of really bright future. You know, a guy like Ty Cosrud. You know, we thought originally we might get a redshirt in him. He's starting. And he's playing even a different position than he was practicing the first part of the year. You know, again, there's a number of those guys, and again, a lot of them, because a lot of them play, you see. But there'll be some guys that'll show up next year that they play down this year. You know, they're scout squad guys, and they're continuing to get better. You know, I think we still got enough of those guys. You've heard a few more names of some young ones just because they've had to be in the game.
Coach, when calling the game from the booth and commenting on things that we see as they happen, sometimes I feel duty bound to ask you about it. Last couple of games, the gun snaps to the quarterback low. Some of them seem to float back there. Is that causing timing issues?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, and we've addressed it. And, you know, we made a little bit of a change there several weeks ago. I don't know if it was a month ago. Just trying to maybe get a little older, a little more experienced in there. And you know, we've kind of, you think about the year, we've kind of played the whole year with about 6 guys that have played this, because we were trying to reach, we were thin in that, but that was a position we were thin in to start the year. We have stayed relatively healthy there, but we're able to redshirt the other guys. And you know, it's not like you're gonna plug those guys in on special teams to get them some experience. But yeah, it hurt us a few snaps against VMI showed up. It does affect timing. What's the first play of the game against them? Allen there, ball's late getting there because it was the other stuff, you know. Show a few more times Saturday, more. You know, I'm not sure there's a quick fix. You know, you also have to have the guy that snaps them high. We had dealt with any of that. But you're right, that is something. It's another one of those attention to details, you know, that we got to continue to address. But it certainly has an effect. Not many wild ones, but just the timing aspect has been off. It affects the pass game, and it certainly affects. I thought there several times in some of our run game the other day, our back was a little late getting there because of that. You know, again, margin error. You know, this thing there. No, that's a good observation.
You look at ETSU, it looks like they're pretty balanced both rush and pass. They started a quarterback last week, that his first start. In your preparation, do you have to look at that and see 2 different quarterbacks? Are there any changes you think in that particular area?
Well, you know, the King kid, the original starter, who was the Gardner-Webb starter a year ago, big, athletic kid. I don't think they change a lot. You know, it's not like they throw it with this one and run it with this one, but he's more of a true dual threat guy, big body, good athlete. I think he can do all the things they want to do in the passing game. Certainly probably not as good completion. You just look at completion percentage. The other kid, I think, is a Florida State transfer, I think. And, you know, I think they look like they're more comfortable with him in the passing game. You'll have to ask them, you know. They've had a number of turnovers. Throughout the year, like I said, they're one of those teams, you look at that part of it, you think, oh, the year ain't going too good, but I think they really relied on the defense, but optimistic. 2 good backs, you know, one of them's maybe a UConn transfer. 2 good backs, really multiple, you know, in what they do, so they can stretch in a lot of ways. I think I don't know if every offensive line was a transfer, maybe there's one that's not, but 2 big tackles. Really solid group, you know, so they run the ball. I still think they will run the ball, but I do think they want to be balanced, you know, as much as they can. So I don't know, you know, when he threw 4 picks Saturday, they still won the game, and I think they got 4 turnovers. I think 2 15-yard drives. I think Western threw a pick inside the 10 right from half in the end zone. So again, it's one of those games that could really go either way. I think when you look at our league, in my opinion, Western is probably the one team who's now playing without their quarterback. It really can stress you, probably more than the others. Just the ability to stretch the field and do different things and be pretty good in the run game. Yes, a little about who they are, a little bit how they're built. You look at Chattanooga, who had the other older quarterback, and that's not who they are, not who they try to be. You know, so I think that, we've certainly, seen balls thrown down the field, and I'm sure we'll see our share in the middle field again Saturday, and so, team completion percentage for them is not probably what they want, so hopefully can you get some pressure on them, can you keep them from running, because I think people have had success against them, have had probably more trouble, more help than they can stop the run. I think against you, look at Mercer, they just abandoned the run, they didn't even try to run it. But again, they had some big time turnovers that turned into points, and that's what cost them that game. So, I'm sure there's some things he's a little frustrated about too, but they're doing a good job.
Coach, I think, when you look at the turnovers, you've created a few this year, but then it's gotta be frustrating that you can't. More often than not, it seems like when you create them, you can't turn those into points. And that was something, no matter how many they had last year, they were more often than not turning them into points. Can you just talk about that aspect?
Yeah, well, I may be wrong, I think we've got 9, lost 19, because we were 1-1 Saturday, I think it was 8-18, so we were minus 10. Now, it's not a lot. I think we've recovered 3 fumbles, and you know this, because I looked this up, we've gotten 1 turnover on the opponent's side of the field all year. That was William Mary first play of the game, and what do? We scored a touchdown. Now I'll say this, Jalen's pick in the Signal game was on our end, but we didn't, we were having different need. And we lost him for the year on the same play. So I'd probably traded that off, So we haven't gotten a lot of them. We've seemed to be on a long field, bunch, and you struggle with it offensively, man. 75 yards, without something happening, makes it tough. It's funny, I was watching the other day, and I think this didn't come up. You notice, we fumbled the ball the other day, they pick it up, and, from where I'm standing, I thought I was fixing to take it back, we had, and then I think it was, I'm trying to think who, I think Colton caused the fumble. And he kept stripping the ball.
Yeah.
We didn't get it. I don't know if you noticed the fumble last week at VMI, Grant Robinson ran the guy down and punched it out. It went up in the air and came right back to the same guy. And again, I just said, credit those 2 kids when they were fighting and competing, and it just hadn't bounced our way, And we got to find more ways to get balls out. Caleb had a good pick the other day, we haven't gotten many. We turned it over too many times. I think again that was always second coming, but it's been we haven't got anything. I've seen people considering pick 6 on return in short field. I think East Tennessee's first 2 touchdowns in there were both inside the 20-yard drives. We just haven't had any of that. We gave a few of those away earlier in the year, especially.
You tell me all the time in pregame interviews and even in other conversations about how hard your kids continue to work, and you just cited the example of Grant Robinson chasing somebody down from behind it and punching the ball out. I mean, is that indicative of the fact that, record aside, these kids continue to work and play hard and give you the kind of effort that you want?
I agree. That's what gives you hope. I think we got some talent. I see us making progress, getting better. The other day, it's a win-loss game. You ain't got time to do those things, but we're putting ourselves in a position. Carson came and gave us every opportunity the other day to win the football game. Would I like to see him make a couple throws he missed? Yeah. I'd see him make a couple better decisions, but that comes with that job. But he took care of the ball, and again, which I felt like would be key in that game. I didn't think there'd be a ton of points scored. Take care of the ball, give our guys a chance. Again, we got to do some things that certainly help our guys a little bit more so, both sides of the ball. We let some punts hit the ground. There's a lot of hidden yardage there. That we gotta you know, sometimes bad punts are good punts, you know. Ian Williams has been phenomenal. You know, he had a great, he had the one bad one, but man, look at what he's done kicking off and punting the football and all those other things, so. Again, just trust the process, and like I said, wish we were older, a little bit older now, a little more experienced. I kind of see that. I see us getting a little better. I think they're doing the right things. You won't see the results. Nobody does more than me. I see it. I see the practice. You know what's the tape. And Dan told us things. A lot of things you see good that nobody sees doesn't pay off because the one guy didn't do his job. But we got a pretty good process. I think we'll just continue to trust that.
I think that's it from the gallery here. Any final thoughts?
No, just, it's funny, this game, we same day did before, and then they set a noon kickoff, which makes it hard to do. And then, when hurricane came, the route was closed, so we thought the route was gonna be different, so, we had to completely changed when they planned to go there. And then the route's back open, we still got the noon kickoff, so, it's kind of how this whole year's been. No, y'all know me, and noon kickoffs, it doesn't get any better than that. We've been all over the road, so, I'm excited about that. And, we gotta go have a great week of prep, and again, I think we played our best football, the last couple of weeks. Still not good enough, but if we'll stay on that trend, we just need to play our best game. If we play our best game, we'll be fine. We'll do that, but it'll be a big challenge for us. They got a really good team, good players, and we'll go give it our best shot Saturday.
Well, kickoff is at noon, as Coach Hendricks said. The game will be televised via ESPN Plus. From a radio standpoint, little breakfast and pregame, 10:30 airtime for the Pepsi Countdown to kickoff from Johnson City. Hope you can join us on the Fan Upstate. We'd really like for you to make the trip, but if you can't, we'd love to have you on the radio broadcast. That will do it as far as this week's Furman Football Weekly with head coach Clay Hendricks. Thank you to everyone here. Thank you to everyone watching, Coach. Thank you. For all of us at Furman, I'm Dan Scott. God bless you, and so long, everybody.